Emmanuel is asking, can you set up BlackBird to ignore a bloodhound signal under certain circumstances? Yes, you can, but the proper way really is to control your bloodhound signals. That's the proper way to do it. Bloodhound has more advanced, logic capabilities than BlackBird does. But some of your options are the way that you can kind of get BlackBird. This is kind of a workaround. But you can use the place after, basically, to create additional requirements before an order gets placed. So like the name says, the order will get placed after whatever conditions you have in here. Right, so you can use these various trigger conditions. So that's basically that is the limitation, in which on what certain conditions you can look for to ignore a bloodhound signal. And the thing is it's not really ignoring the signal. So you're using the place after for something it's not designed for, right? The place after is really, it's designed so that, okay, if you get a bloodhound signal, now look for this secondary condition. And if this secondary condition happens, then place the order, right? So in other words, place the order. Let's kind of do something simple here. Indicator. I'll just use indicator values. So let's say, right, so a bloodhound signal comes in, and then we have this place after, and so we'll say we'll place this market entry order after the ATR, is greater than 0.2, right? Or same thing with the short trade. The ATR is only a positive number, so for an ATR, let's say 0.2 as well. So if the ATR is greater than 0.2, then place the order. But if the ATR is less than 0.2, right, then the order doesn't get placed, right? So you're using this in a reverse fashion, in an opposite manner than what it was designed for. So theoretically, you could use the place after to prevent an order from getting submitted, but it's not truly ignoring the bloodhound signal. It's just putting that order into a pending state, waiting for this secondary condition to happen. Right, so you can see it's a total workaround, and it's really not a good idea. But I guess technically, if you kind of figure everything out, you might be able to use the place after to prevent a signal. So, and then next, so remember, the place after will put the order in a pending state. So the order still wants to try to execute. It wants to get out of that pending state, right? So as soon as your indicator condition or whatever situation you want to use, if that ever becomes true, then the order gets submitted. So then to make sure that the pending order gets canceled, right, then you definitely make sure that you're using the cancel after, and I don't know, maybe set it down to 1 bar, like so. So the order goes into a pending state, it doesn't get executed, and then when the bar closes, it gets canceled. So it's a complete workaround to, it's not truly ignoring a bloodhound signal, but it's a workaround to prevent the order from getting executed and then canceling it a bar later or something like that, right? So yeah, so really the proper way to do this is control your bloodhound signals, all right? Control your bloodhound signals. Another similar type of question I've had from another user was they wanted to use multiple bloodhound logic templates. So he had one logic template that was feeding, continuous long outputs or continuous short outputs to determine whether the market is in a long trade bias or a short trade bias. And right, so what this other customer wanted to do is he was thinking he was going to use the BloodHound signal. Yeah, use the BloodHound signal as a way to kind of, as a secondary filter, to determine whether, an order can get placed or not. So, yeah, so that's kind of another way. So, so if you create a specific BloodHound template that gives you longs, so let's see, actually, yeah, we actually did something yesterday. So here, let me cancel this. Let me get my chart set up. And let's see, I think I need to switch back over to a range chart here. And I'm going to add BloodHound to this chart. And let's load up yesterday's workshop file, because it actually has a good example here. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to tweak the logic here a little bit. There we go. All right. So, yeah, so let's say you have a BloodHound template, right, that's giving you this long output, or short output or long output, right? So you basically, you could use BloodHound to kind of determine when a short trade can be taken, and then no trade can be taken, and then long trades can be taken, right? For example here. So, yeah, so this is another workaround. Again, I don't suggest this. You really, I can't emphasize enough, you should be controlling your BloodHound templates or your BloodHound signals. And you shouldn't be using BlackBird to try and determine when to take a BloodHound signal. You should be using BloodHound to determine when a BloodHound signal should be given. So, but, as a workaround here, let me clear that out again. Yeah. So if I go into the place after, I can set up this BloodHound signal, and then load this BloodHound template in, and let's make sure, yeah, there we go, our result node's connected up correctly to that. Let's see, all right, the logic template that we want to use is this one. And so here, the signal trigger mode. So in this example, I'll say when there's a short output, right, from this BloodHound logic template, if there's a short output, then that'll be the okay to take short trades. And if there's no output, right, then the trade will just go into a pending state and won't get executed. And if there's a long output, then that would allow long trade signals to execute the order. Yeah, so we'll use signals in same direction here. Right, meaning that, yeah, if there's a short output, short trades can execute. If there's long output, long trades can execute. So yeah, there we go. And then again, make sure you've got the cancel after, and we'll just set that to something like 1 bar, like so, right? Yeah. Here, there. So let's test this out. There. All right. Let's see. So we're in a short bias here. So if I try and place a long trade, then if we look at our order monitor, shrink this over. Right there, we can see the entry order. You know, BlackBird wants to execute a short trade, but the entry order goes into a pending state since BlackBird is giving us a short bias right now. And then when this bar closes, hopefully it'll close right now, let's see, oh yeah, we need one more bar to go by and then it'll get canceled. Let's see, yeah, here, let me pull the market down, close this bar. So we can also see here on the info panel that we have a long pending. So, oh, you know what, did I? Let's see if I set this up correctly. Yeah, I did. So this is not canceling. What's going on here? Let's see. Let's try some other things here. Let's try and cancel after a second. I guess we'll just turn all these cancels on here. So actually, yeah, this should all just cancel things very quickly. Here, let's set the ticks of movement to either direction. Yeah, our delay finished. Yeah, after. So whichever one of these delays occurs first, that'll cancel it. Yeah. Or actually, I was also thinking, yeah, I guess there's another way we could do this too. And the cancel after, we could also use a BloodHound template as well to cancel stuff. So, all right, let me go with that. And all right, so let me close this out so everything gets reset. So yeah, you want to look for this. It says new settings are active, right? So just remember, if you go in and make changes to your BloodHound settings, that if there's an active order, you need to flatten any kind of active or pending order first, right? And then the new settings will take effect. So, all right, so let's go along now. There we go, pending, and let's move the market down. All right, well, it doesn't say it's canceling, but I'm going to test this out and see if it truly is canceled. So if I move the market up, eventually BloodHound will go into this long state here. So if this order is canceled, then the long order will not get submitted. But if this entry order truly still is pending, then a long order will get executed as soon as BloodHound goes into this long state here. So I just need to move the market up here to test that out. All right, yeah, this might take a little bit because this long and short state here it's being determined by an EMA 120, EMA 80, and EMA 40. So it might take these EMAs a little bit, before they get aligned up correctly and then create a long state. And there we go. So there is a long, and we did not get a long trade. Let's just do one more bar here. So, okay, good. So it is actually canceled. So that order was canceled. It just looks like the order monitor panel got broken again. So, yeah, well, I'll have to submit this and get this working again. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just not registering. So, yeah, so if I go long, bingo, we can see a long order gets executed instantly, right, when we have that BloodHound output, with a long bias. But if I try and go short, then the order goes into a pending state, right? And will get canceled quickly. So yeah, so I guess, you know, turning on all of these cancel options here will just get that pending order canceled, you know, as quickly as possible. So, but again, I can't emphasize enough that really this is a bad way to do it. So you are using, you know, features within BlackBird that are not designed to ignore orders. So again, this is designed to delay an order from getting executed, you know, waiting for a secondary condition to complement your BloodHound signal. So this is a workaround, and we never suggest workarounds because, you know, who knows? There could be on other situations, you know, that you know, I can't think of off the top of my head, you know, that might cause this workaround to not work under certain circumstances. But anyways, but yeah, this is kind of one way to do it. So.